What is going on, guys? Joey Franzo here with Flex Training Systems. Today we're going to talk about being great. What the fuck am I talking about? Being great. Being great means different things to different people. I would assume that many of you think being great is maybe being one of the best in your class, being top 5, being top 3. I'm speaking, from a competitive powerlifting sense. And a couple of things that inspired this video. I was looking through my man Mason's story, and he was just talking about things that, top guys do. And on stream last night with my man Keiko, the human fridge, somebody asked something along the lines of, what do I have to do to be good in lifting? And I thought to myself, why not make a video on this? By the way, I hope the audio is better. I know you guys have been saying that it's been a little quiet, but hopefully I got that sorted. But yeah, I would like to think that I'm someone that has had the opportunity to work with people that were not necessarily the best, when they came in, and then they were built up to become some of the best. Or rather, maybe they had a slight edge on everybody else. Or maybe maybe they have a kid, and I mean, if you want to quit lifting because you have a kid, that's great. I mean, if that's what makes you happy, that's great. I don't really like that's a noble cause, is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to stop powerlifting to do something else that makes you happy, or something else that you see as more important, then more power to you. But don't lie to yourself and pretend that you want to be here when you really don't. You know what I mean? So a topic that gets brought up a lot is like pretending to, like if you have a coach, right? Like if I have a lifter and I care about they're lifting more than they do, that's a problem, right? I don't really think you can really get anywhere when that's the case. You got to make it a priority. It's got to be something that you're truly passionate about and that you want to improve at. You make sure that you're handling business, and then, once you kind of get to a certain point, everything becomes kind of automatic. That's why I try to get people to that kind of automatic point where the gains are just going to come, and it's just a matter of time rather than anything else, right? I mean, that's kind of like the main focus behind what I do. But yeah, falling in love with the process, super key, and you can't fake that. It's got to be something that just kind of happens naturally, just like you can't pretend to like someone. You know what I mean? If you like them, you like them. If you don't, you don't. Sometimes things can grow over time. Maybe you see the value in lifting, all the benefits that come from actually, lifting weights, and not just being national champ is incredible. It's amazing. But what about if you're not competitive? What if you're never going to be competitive? What if you're like a mid pack to low, like 30th place or something like that? Lifting is still great for your well-being. It's still good for your bone density. It's a form of exercise. It helps you build more muscle. It can increase life expectancy. It makes your body strong. It makes, it'll strengthen your back so that when you do other activities, you're not going to be like those regular people in the real world that they don't do any lifting at all whatsoever. So when they bend over to pick up a box, they're screwed, right? There's so many other benefits to lifting aside from just what happens on the platform and rankings and things like that. I think powerlifting is one of the best things for females, especially. It gets them a part of something, something like team orientated, almost like to a point. It's got community aspect. There's people encouraging each other. The things that it does to their bodies is incredible. Giving them better posture, and just it is like, I could go on forever. It's the best thing for the ladies. You guys know that I've said that in many videos before. And after you fall in love with the process, you need to understand, this has to go with being realistic with yourself again, is that you're not going to blow up overnight, right? Meaning you're not just going to have a 500-pound squat, like all out RPE 10, and then magically have a 700-pound squat. You get what I'm saying? Like 600-pound squat is becoming more and more common over time. Like 650, 700, depending on your weight class. Like how many people squat 800? How many people, squat 700, right? It takes time to get there. It's usually people that have been in the game for a long time, over years and years and years, that haven't gotten hurt. I've seen some crazy shit happen. I've done some crazy shit with people. We made some pretty insane progress in a short amount of time. I'm not saying I could do that for everyone, but sometimes it happens. Sometimes you have people that have like they have a really good base, they have a lot of musculature, but their technique sucks and like their structure is bad and their nutrition is horrible and their sleep is off. And then when I optimize all those things for them, then we can see like, wow, my max was this and now it's magically that. There's other things behind the scenes as to why you're seeing this like big kind of discrepancy. But that's not going to be the case for everyone. And if you're a smaller person, then relative to, the numbers that you're hitting, you have to understand that like if your max squat is 250 pounds, if you put 50 pounds in your squat, that's like me putting 150 pounds in my squat. You get what I'm saying? Like that's absolutely fucking insane. It's all relative though. Once we get up to like certain weights, you gotta start to understand like everybody has like a timeline, right? And I like to think of our recovery timeline, the timeline of your lifting career. Let's say I could see the whole thing, right? I could punch in a name and I see a timeline that pops up, right? And I could see like the future and the past, and I see, I put in someone's name, I see their entire lifting, timeline, right? Depending on where you are in that timeline, you're gonna make more or less progress, right? The idea is to keep it going as long as possible, but eventually things are gonna happen, and it's you just can't compare yourself to any one person. You just need to make sure that you're doing everything that you need to do to be the best that you can be. So some people are afraid of that, right? Like they would never want to know, hey, in your lifetime, this is how far you're gonna get. At the end of the day, I think that limit. I don't really think there's a limit. It's just what are we willing to do? How much are we willing to put in? And I remember when I got started, I thought it was going to be a temporary thing, but I was like, you know what? I can't walk away from this. I need to give it everything, and I want to look back like at the end of my life and be like, damn, look how far I was able to take it. Look at the people's lives that I was able to impact through what I'm doing, and things like that. So I'm very glad I did not stop, despite what some doctors told me to do, which brings me to my next point. You have to be able, if you want to be great at the sport, you have to be able to fight through the tough things like getting hurt, right? Moving, right? Just crazy shit that happens. Moving is not that crazy, but like getting hurt, dealing with injuries, dealing with frustration. There's nothing more frustrating than when you go into a situation, you're so used to a routine, right? We lift, we wake up, we eat, we go to the gym, we come home, and then you can't do your routine because you're injured, right? It sucks. It fucking sucks. Because it does become part of your identity. You're no longer able to like be yourself, and it's some people can start to get a little depressed when things like that happen and stuff like that. I'll never forget when I screwed up my back. I got MRIs. I went to doctors, and they told me, hey, you got to stop lifting, or you're gonna need surgery. I didn't listen to them. I found a doctor that found a workaround for me, and I was able to just keep going. And I am so thankful I didn't listen, because I wouldn't be where I am now if I did. Okay, moving on to the next thing. So talking about depression a little bit. Sometimes when you're depressed, you don't want to go outside. You don't want to lift. You have no motivation to do anything. It is like a plague that shuts you down completely. I don't really know. I think when I was very injured many years ago, I probably experienced something similar to this. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I have chronic depression or anything like that. But like, there's a lot of people that count on me, which is kind of like a very huge external motivator. Like I need to be there for my people. You know what I mean? So that's always gonna kind of keep me going, but. Some of you guys you're going to be in school, you're going to be grinding through classes, you're going to be like, do I really even want to do this? Do I even care about what I'm going to school for? And, then you get an injury on top of that, and, maybe financially you're running through problems, and it's just like all these things, maybe your girl breaks up with you, and all these things are going to compound, it can be easy to kind of fall into that depression, that fall into that kind of like a vegetative state where you just don't want to do anything. But I have found, and I've heard this from other people that suffer through it, is like the best thing for that is you just gotta fucking do it. Like, you need to act against your emotions and just do the things that you know are gonna put yourself in a position to be successful, right? You have to, and that just goes in part with like falling in love with the process. If you can continue the process by all means, regardless of how you feel, regardless of whatever is going on, you're going to feel better at the end of the workout, and you're going to feel better down the road, and you're going to look back and be like, damn, lifting really got me through those tough times, blah, 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 this and that. You know what I mean? I'm not a doctor. I am not a, anything like that. But I think now that we're on this topic of depression, I think putting yourself in an environment to be successful. So putting yourself, like, maybe you have a gym that's very encouraging and you really like being there, and everybody's like serious about lifting, and everybody, hypes each other up and things like that, right? Like, you go into the gym, it's just always a good time, regardless of whatever mood you're in. The gym always gets you like in that mood to kind of be productive. I think that can be a huge motivator, because like, whatever you're going through at home, if you could just get to the gym, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna get the workout done. And you're going to feel a lot better. Those endorphins are going to release, and you're going to be good to go at the end of that workout. That's why I think having a good support system, a sense of community, I try to do that with the Flex Boys, I cannot tell you how many people have become friends with each other through, yeah, I'm coaching, I'm bringing a team together, but people meet each other and they become close, and some of them have become friends for life. And I'm happy I was able to do that. That's what it's about. We're lifting, but there's so much other things that, like, positive things that come from it. And then going back to being real with yourself, you just have to make a priority for things that are important, right? If you're one of those people that has a hard time eating, and you just rather not deal with eating to put on any weight, then you can't sit there and lie to yourself and be like, I'm trying. If you're not gaining the weight, then you're not trying. You know what I mean? It's the same thing if you need to lose weight. I was asked by my man William Squats on IG recently. When he was out here at Zoo, we were walking to go eat, and he remembered I mentioned something about dieting briefly. And I think he was like, so how's the diet going or something? And I said, oh, I haven't really lost much. And he's like, why is that? And my answer to him was, I guess it's just not really a priority for me at the moment. You know what I mean? Like, whatever I was going through at the time, I remember I was very stressed at the time. And, I just, like, I wasn't going to lie and be like, oh, I am, or it's water weight or some shit. I was like, no, I just wasn't a priority for me. So I wasn't losing the weight. So, and then in saying that, it's like losing weight was not an urgent thing for me, and it wasn't a priority. It wasn't something that I really cared about. It was just something that I kind of like would have liked to do, at that particular time. Given my competition goals, it doesn't fucking matter. I'm going to be better off if I stay here anyway, in terms of like, just like the sheer amount of weight that I would be able to lift. I'm going to be better here as a 120 anyway, but you got to be real with yourself again. If you're not making your schedule out to make lifting a priority, or if you're not taking care of things outside the gym, then you just got to be real and be like, honestly, like, I love this lifting thing, but it's just not a priority for me at the moment. Maybe I'll come back to it, this and that. Maybe I don't care about it as much as I think. You got to have all those things. You got to put everything together yourself. That kind of brings me to the end of this video. It's like, what is being great? I think that, like, starting out with 1,000-pound total and working up to a 1,500-pound total, in my opinion, that's pretty great. Obviously, being a national or world champion is also being great in a sense. Maybe that's the term that most of you guys think about, but I can tell you right now that those guys and girls, they have an internal desire to want to be better than they are now. They are just constantly, like, working, you know what I mean? Right now that my move is settling down, I have all this extra, like, time to put towards, like, other things that I want to get going, right? I posted a YouTube video on a separate channel today for my gaming stuff, right? And that shit's got like no subs, and I don't even care. I'm just gonna be consistent with it because I know in time shit's gonna come up, kind of like this channel, right? I'm gonna keep posting on here, right? So 2 videos, right? And then tonight we got a podcast. Just that's I take my Wednesdays to create content, right? I'm super active on social media. I'm just like I have the team, obviously. I'm hiring new people to work for me. It's like I have all these things going on, and that's because I am truly, like, I truly have it within me, like just this burning desire to just like want to make this team the best I can be, and then through that, like, I'm just enhancing those people's lives around me that I care about. It is not something that I need to ask myself if it's what I want to do. Then again, I am 29 years old. I have been doing this for a long time. It took me a long time to get here. And I hope that one day everybody listening to this video can find something that at the end of the day they look back and say, I'm doing what I need to be doing. You know what I mean? I am where I want to be. I am, like, I know that this is what I was meant to do. So, and I think we're, like, just to speak for what is happening with the team, like, I feel like we're making a huge impact, and we're kind of like pushing the limit and trying to reshape as much as we can. And I don't know what new talent's going to come to me in the future. I don't know what barriers are going to be broken. I don't know what I'm going to do with my current guys, but I know that I'm going to keep giving it everything, and hopefully we'll look back at everything when this is all said and done and be like, damn, we really made a big mark. So that being said, damn, this video got a little bit deeper than I thought it was going to be. Thank you guys so much for making it this far. I appreciate each and every one of you. Let me get a hashtag be great. Hashtag be great in the comments below. If you guys want to come hang out with me and John on stream, I'll put that info down below. If you want to subscribe to the other channel, I'll put that down below. Also, if you're getting competition shirts for Raw Nationals, we are probably going to have to literally bring them and hand them to you, because they're not going to be done until like last minute. If you want more information on that, I just ask me down below. But that is probably what's going to happen. If you are not doing Raw Nationals, I mean, they'll be done so we can ship them out to you. But if you are doing Nats and you want it by Nats, I'm literally going to hand it to you. So keep that in mind. That being said, thank you guys so much for making it this far at the end of the video. Be great in the comments down below. I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.